Live from New York. Wins on the board for everybody. Chiefs won, Patriots won.
Congrats, buddy.
And the Ravens
didn't allow
get
40
points.
Hey, you got to take the little victories in life. The defense showed up.
Oh,
They just were fumbling the ball left and right.
Yeah.
There's
And
always
not
something.
giving the ball to Derrick Henry at the goal line. It seemed like,
I don't get that.
man, Brady seemed like he was going to fight the play caller. He was not happy with it.
We start with a solid Chiefs win. KC puts up 30 points to get to 3-3. Mahomes throws 3 touchdowns, runs in a fourth. Chiefs, since their 0-2 start, they're 3-1. Point differential plus 40. 5 more turnovers than their opponent. And Mahomes TD to touchdown ratio 11-1. And they're now scoring. That's a good graphic. They've scored in 15 of 16 quarters. I like that graphic a lot.
You'll like this. They have scored touchdowns on 33% of their drives this year, the highest percentage of any year since Mahomes' first year as a starter.
Wow.
Solid. They look like they're back. What did they prove? Oh, no, I got to ask this. We changed it. Did they prove they're the best team in the NFL?
We are so back, baby. You know how we're back? The opposing team's whining about officiating. There's conspiracy theorists online. The offense is the best it's been since 2022 when Mahomes set the all-time combined yardage record. The defense, which I was worried about after week 1, has progressively gotten better, the Jags game notwithstanding. Rasheed is back. We're done with it. The suspension's over. And if they're not the best team, who is? You're gonna watch the Chargers or the Broncos this weekend, who are leading the AFC West, try their damnedest to lose to 2 of the 3 worst teams in football, no disrespect to the Tennessee Titans, and say they're the best? We're gonna say the Bills with that defense or the Steelers with that offense. Can't say the Lions. Lions got their lunch money stolen last night.
That's what people were saying before.
You could argue my NFC Super Bowl pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I do think they have been very impressive and resilient going through injury. But they're the best team in football. And we all know when it flipped. And you guys
Please.
KW? How about this? How about this, KW? Because you'll like this.
Okay.
Post tackle that turned the tide.
This is getting on my nerves.
The Chiefs scoring 30. They had done it 3 out of 28 games leading into the tackle that turned the tide. They've now done it 2 out of 3. The tackle that turned the tide. What about, you guys love the light show, Mahomes passer rating, 125 plus. Once in 28 games before the tackle that turned the tide.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 since then. Danny was on here talking about 4 touchdown games going into the Ravens game. Well, that was right after tackle that turned the tide. He had done it 0 times in his previous 28. He's now done it 2 of 3.
That's pretty good.
And so his numbers, of course, pre and post the tackle that turned the tide are jarring, because pre it's like, oh my God, are we going to have a 3rd straight down year? Except this time they're actually also going to lose games. And instead it's like, nope, vintage Mahomes, as good as he's ever been. So of course we're dropping a banner, because of course they're back, and of course we know the moment it happened. The tackle that turned the tide and the entire NFL season, because they're the favorites again.
I didn't realize when you said tackle that turned the tide that it was going to be like
The thing?
Yeah,
The
I thought
mantra
it was just
of the year?
a one-off,
Yeah.
like one show, didn't you?
Except,
look, you bring up some great stats. They did lose a game. He did throw a 99-yard pick
listen,
six.
it didn't say the
since
tackle that
the
made him
tackle
perfect.
that
I mean, he
turned the
made
tide.
one
All
mistake.
right, I'm just saying.
But let me ask this in seriousness before you go, Brou. If he doesn't make that play, and the Giants scoop and score, and take control of that game going into halftime, do you think we are potentially talking about a totally different NFL season?
Sure.
Yeah. Like, because that was the moment that game flipped. Well, I was just focused on Kelsey and Reed fighting. I was focused on this guy turning into a strip sack artist. Go ahead, bro.
Are they the best team in the NFL? Let me be the voice of reason. There is no best team in the NFL right now. And after week 6, that's just fine.
Okay.
Because every team out there, including the Chiefs, have put some bad film on tape.
No doubt.
Right? And we don't have to go back weeks for the Chiefs, just a week.
Yeah.
You know, so every team has, there's no best team yet. I will say this. I like the Chiefs, Nick, better than all the one-loss teams. So records, at this point, most of the top teams are 4-2. They're 3-3, but they could be the best. But Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Tampa Bay, and my Packers, but who haven't been playing great football. Mm-hmm. I like the Chiefs right now at this moment better than all of them.
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
Here's why I am hesitant to say they're the best team right now. Because, and I get that they are currently flirting with the Supernatural Funk
Philly
remix.
Okay.
Yeah, Philly does seem to have their number. They've beaten them 3 straight times.
How many times?
Twice in Kansas City. Twice in Kansas City, once in the Super Bowl. Now, again, that's when Philly's right. Right now, Philly hadn't looked good, but they still beat them this year. And so that's where I just feel like I can't fully give them the best team in the league yet. But what I will say, and this is what we saw last night, Patrick Mahomes is without question. Everybody has said he's the best quarterback in the league, but a lot of people felt like, well, not right now. He's the best, but
historically,
not historically. Right. He is clearly the best quarterback in the league, and Andy Reid is as good as anyone coaching in the league right now. Because remember I said years ago, you used to watch Mahomes, and I would be surprised when they didn't score. That's how I'm feeling now. Like, when they don't score a touchdown, I'm surprised. And with Andy Reid drawing stuff up, just with a decent core of receivers, because let's not get out of line like they have some phenomenal receiving core. It's good. But just with the decent receivers, you can't stop them from getting 8 yards or 12 yards. Like, Kelsey now is always open. He's always open in the middle of the field somewhere. Like, whenever they need a play, it's just like Xavier Worthy has opened everything up with his speed.
And same with Thornton.
And now, Thornton and Juju all of a sudden is back playing well. Hollywood Brown, who we hadn't heard from in a while, is playing. And now you're about to get Rasheed back. So the difference is Mahomes and Reed, and now they have some pretty good receivers.
The only thing that stops the Chiefs from getting 8 yards of play is calling running plays. Those are 2 yards of play, and that part is a little frustrating. But go ahead, Kate.
Well, I'm a big margin of victory guy.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to see. Chiefs' last 2 seasons, and this is including the playoffs, average margin of victory was 7. They only had 3 3-point wins.
13-point wins.
Sorry, 13-point wins.
Yeah.
And they already have matched that already this year, and their average margin of victory is 14. So, look, you do have 3 losses still. I can't just throw those in the trash bin, but the wins have been impressive.
And listen, and I want to talk about Mahomes in a second. We will see how damaging those losses end up being. You know what I mean? Are they going to be a wild card? How many road games are they going to have to play? Is the bye even on the table anymore? All those things. And it is noteworthy that to varying degrees, the Chargers thoroughly outplayed the Chiefs, but when the Chiefs had a chance to steal that game, one of the big 3 of the dynasty, Chris Jones, made a mistake. You know what I mean? And losing contain. The Eagles game, I think the Chiefs were going to win, and one of the big 3 of the dynasty, Travis Kelce, made a mistake. And in the Jags game, I believe the Chiefs were going to win. And the biggest of the big 3 of the dynasty, Patrick Mahomes, made a mistake. Like, you own that, you wear that, and they lost those games fair and square. That, in an odd way, gives me slightly more confidence than if it were other guys we're relying on that you can't really, that you think, hey, they're going to keep making that mistake. But go ahead, Brou.
I was going to say, I agree with that point you made. I was going to say this. One of the huge differences, when any of the other elite teams lose, the sky is falling. Not only among the media, in their locker room.
Yes.
Detroit, we saw them unravel last night with Brian Branch, who we'll get to. But the Bills, Bills aren't quite as bad, but still there's some there. Obviously, Philadelphia. I can't even say it's because the Chiefs won Super Bowls and these other teams didn't, because Philly's won a Super Bowl. And it's just like Baltimore, whenever they lose, it's just it feels like the season is on the brink. When the Chiefs were freaking 2-3, 0-2, there was nothing coming out of that locker room. That's leadership from Mahomes and from Reed.
And on Patrick, before we move on just quickly, because I've gotten so frustrated with some of the criticism of, yes, he's great, but where are the numbers and this and that? Whenever we see these graphics that are just stat-based, like the one, so this is him this season in ranks, where his numbers are now this year at an MVP caliber. Mm-hmm. But the thing we saw on the broadcast last night that I thought was instructive, where it was fastest to 300 touchdowns, and it was him 8 games faster than Aaron and 13 games faster than Marino and 22 games faster than Peyton. Those 3 guys were known just for stats. Like, they were kind of,
at that point.
No, to this day, they are not considered great postseason players. Mm-hmm. Varying levels, but fair, great. Those guys, for their careers combined, are 34 and 33 in the playoffs. And Patrick, who is outpacing them in the numbers, and then also is the second greatest playoff quarterback of all time, it did feel to me like he was a little beyond criticism, but he wasn't. He needed to be back playing at an MVP level, and luckily he is. And for a guy who loves Baker Mayfield and loves Patrick Mahomes, I got to tell you, MVP and Super Bowl collision course. Patrick versus Baker for the MVP, Chiefs versus Bucks, preseason pick for the Super Bowl. It's sure looking like it to me.
No, that's right now.
Interesting.
It's on the
right
board.
now.
Meanwhile, on the Lions side, Detroit didn't get a few gotta-have-it plays in the team that we thought could be the best team in the league, looked solidly mediocre. Detroit came out of the gate pretty fast. They got some trick plays, looked good. And then the rest of the game, they only scored 7 points outside those first 2 drives. Brou, did the Lions get exposed last night?
No, I wouldn't say exposed because they still have a great chance to win the NFC and get to the Super Bowl. But the 2 winning teams they've played this year have beaten them
soundly.
By 2 touchdowns. Green Bay and the Chiefs. The 4 teams they've beaten have a combined record of 6-16. All right, so I see 2 major differences between like the Detroit and these, like the Chiefs or some other elite teams. When you need to get a stop, or even if it's just a big game against another elite team, Detroit can't get the stops. Maybe, obviously, they've been banged up. They were banged up last night. They were banged up last season, so maybe that's it. But these are their last several big games. Last night, obviously, they give up 30. Green Bay, first week, they give up 27. Last year in the playoff game against Washington, they give up 45. Last night, the Chiefs showed you they played great defense throughout the game, but Detroit, you talked about the Chiefs punching them in the mouth. Detroit came out and punched the Chiefs in the mouth.
Yes.
They were rolling a 10-minute drive, and then when it gets to the goal line, the Chiefs stop them. And I get it that the trick play worked, but it was illegal. But still, the Chiefs manned up and stopped them at the goal line. The second difference is Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes. Goff is a very good quarterback, but he can't make lemonade out of lemons. Mahomes can make something happen when it doesn't appear he has the help or when it's just the situation calls for it.
And can play from behind.
Yes, Goff. I mean, look, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Goff. He has probably the best tandem of running backs in the league with Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery.
Yes.
Arguably the best tandem of receivers in Jameis Williams and Amon St. Brown. And then he's got Sam Laporte is arguably the best tight end at this point. So I'm just saying Mahomes can make something happen when he has to. Goff, not so much. So that's the 2 differences.
So to be fair to the Lions, the Ravens game was a big game, but the Ravens moved the ball. To your point about their defense,
right,
you know what I
mean? They scored 30.
Right, they forced the fumble on Derrick Henry, but
last year when Detroit lost to Buffalo scored 48.
Right, and so here, listen, I did not think that was a fun trick play. I thought that was a canary in the coal mine, that this Lions team isn't as tough as they think they are, and I think we saw it the whole game. Look, you can't even barely see the blue line, they're so close. You guys, you're supposed to be the biting kneecap Detroit Lions. You have David Montgomery.
Right.
Run the ball. You're throwing a pass. By the way, Tony Dungy said he saw them do this in practice. They did it illegally in practice too, which made him think the rules had changed since he was coaching. So, like, that is a fine, cool thing to do in a game. You're winning by a lot. If it's first down, there's a lot of instances where that works. It obviously was not one of them last night. I thought that was embarrassing. I thought, and I don't know how many, if you guys have noticed this, first team All-Pro, Kirby Joseph, in the last 12 hours, and he's not a very, super high volume Twitter user, has sent out 24 tweets talking about the officiating last night. That, to me, is not a great sign from one of your veteran All-Pro defensive backs, and we know what the other All-Pro defensive back did. And so I also thought Chris Collinsworth's point was correct, which is as great as this team is, and they are a bowling ball of butcher knives rolling downhill when they're ahead. The limitations Goff does have do show up when you're behind. Yeah. When teams are not afraid of that run game, which it's very rare they're in these bad scripts, but they were in the playoff game, in week 1 and in this week. If you can make them play, as coach would say, left-handed, not the way they want to, then all of a sudden they're not hanging 40 on you. So I still think they're really good, but I thought those are fair critiques.
Lions host the Bucks next Monday. Yeah. Drama post-game. Juju Smith-Schuster gets shoved by Brian Branch. Scuffle ensues. So here's the play. He's trying to get after Mahomes, and some say it's from the side. Some people say it was from the back. Either way, we think this is the play that he referenced. Brou.
And Mahomes also flexed at him when Mahomes scored.
That's allowed.
Yeah, this is allowed too, by the way.
Okay, well, if it's from the back, I don't know.
It literally was allowed, but I agree, it was borderline. I'm not sure if it was legal or not, but yeah, that's fair.
No, it's just your reaction to the scuffle.
Well, first of all, with Dan Campbell, that's what leadership looks like. Like, he didn't come and talk around it. He wasn't afraid to call out one of his better players, who obviously he doesn't want to lose. But he said, we have a standard, and we are not going to tolerate that around here. So I thought that was great. He gave respect to the Chiefs and everything. As far as Brian Branch, he should be suspended for a game.
Wow.
He should be suspended for a game. No question about it.
Not more than one game.
Well, I don't know. He should be suspended for 1 game.
Yards against the Bucs?
Yeah, no, suspended for a game, and hopefully he'll learn from this. But I'll be quick. He should be suspended for a game.
In a weird way, does the Jalen Carter corollary work against him here? Which is you got no penalty whatsoever. Remember the Jalen Carter, they're like, he was suspended, but he already served it.
He served it.
Listen, big picture. So my youngest daughter didn't have school today for the holiday, and so she was able to watch the whole game. And I said to her, I was like, this literally never happens. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, in professional football, sometimes there's scuffles before the game. There's often during, never after. The moment the game's over, there's prayer circles, there's hugs, because the game is so inherently dangerous and violent that it feels like a boxing match sometimes at times where guys hug at the end. So this is rare. I also, KW, what does your kid say that really makes you mad sometimes?
Cry about it?
Yeah, literally, Brian Branch. I mean, he seemed a little choked up, and I don't know what in the NFL the penalty for bullying is. Is Juju going to have to sit out the next couple recesses? I'm not sure. But it's professional football, and you're the biting kneecaps team. You're the we're bigger, stronger, tougher team, and you're out here refusing to shake hands and then punching Juju Smith-Schuster in the face. Mahomes couldn't believe it. Mahomes couldn't believe it. And so, listen, I'm sorry, but that's a tough look for the team that's supposed to be the bullies. Because they got bullied during the game, then after the game, and then went and asked the teacher to do something about it. They're bullying me?
Yeah, it wasn't.
They're bullying me? It's pro football.
Bake Show out here cooking. Heisman moment, even though he already has a Heisman. 3rd and 14 with the Bucs only up 1. Baker converts. Bucs score. Tez flips. Baker serenaded with MVP chance.
Was there an
Let's all
earthquake or
settle down
something?
a little bit, man.
That building
The building
shaking.
shit. Got a pirate ship shooting out the cannonballs. Baker this season, 5-1. That's tied for first. Total yards, he's 4th, 280. He's got 12 touchdowns, only 1 pick, and a passer rating of around 109. That's 6th best. Did the Bucks put the league on notice, Nick?
I mean, they should have already been. And
I agree.
Did you hear Tez Johnson after the game?
It's so good.
Tez Johnson, the rookie, that's his first big play in the NFL. He said he heard them chanting MVP after the touchdown, and he said to one of his teammates, "Man, I haven't really even done anything yet." And then his teammate had to tell him, "They're talking about fake." And he's like, "Oh, that makes more sense."
It was a great catch.
Listen, right now, Coach, I think if it were voted on today, he's the league MVP, and it's not close. Again, through this point of the season, I also think that the Bucks, if we can throw up their schedule real quick, are positioned incredibly well to be, I believe, the 1 seed. This middle column all year was going to be the brutal one.
Yeah.
And then the right-hand column was going to be on fire going into the postseason one. And so they have given themselves such a margin of error now where, in that middle column, if they go 2-3, they're 7-4 going into the softest portion of their schedule. And what is most impressive to me, Coach, is they are not Niners level, but almost Ravens level, ravaged by injury. And it hasn't mattered. And every game, Baker makes one of these. Yeah. 3rd and 14, game-ish on the line, and just an awesome Baker play. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to play them right now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. I would imagine the league has been put on notice over the last couple years with Baker. Last year he throws 41 touchdowns. I know he had the high number of picks, 15 or 16.
16.
But prior to him coming to Tampa Bay, he had only had 1 winning season. Now he's got back-to-back winning seasons. He's got the production that he had. And what I like most about Baker is as he talked about the guys who are catching passes for him and the fact that they weren't known entities and how much trust he has in them, because he's been through a transformation. He goes from the level he was coming out in the draft, then he's got to go through this whole sort of down period, find his footing, find a new home, do all these things to be successful again. So I think he probably appreciates those other guys who are now trying to get their opportunity. And instead of looking at it as like, oh, I'm playing with these guys that, aren't what maybe I'm used to, it's like, yeah, they can step up just like I had the ability to step up after people doubted me. And that's contagious in a locker room, and it excites everybody who gets put in there.
Yeah, to that point, Coach, I mean, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. Ibuka gets hurt during the game. Yeah. 6 starters on offense. Yeah. Bucky Irvin's out. 6 starters on offense are out, and they keep winning. So, look, I don't think beating San Francisco as banged up as they are and lost Fred Warner is puts the league on notice. Next week, when they play Detroit, if they beat Detroit, that, especially Detroit coming off a bad loss, that'll put the league on notice that, okay, they could win the NFC. And then when you factor in they're going to get some of these guys back, too, that are injured, they're looking great. And I agree, Baker right now is clearly the MVP.
I do have concerns, though. What hurt him in Cleveland is he eventually got hurt, and then he played hurt. And the way that he plays, it's great, and it's exciting, and it shows his toughness, but it's typically not sustainable.
Coach, I always bring it
up. I agree. Coach, I agree with you, but I just very quickly, unlike some of the other great quarterbacks in the league, I don't think he can be great playing any other way. I just think, and Baker,
he wouldn't have made that play.
Listen, he has an incredibly strong arm, but he is undersized. He's not super fast. His toughness, and I know this sounds corny, but it factor is what makes him him. So I don't think he can dial that back. You're right, it's risky.
You just want him to be great without being reckless.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
All right, talk about the Cowboys in Carolina. Brou, Rico Dowdle warned you all week. Former Cowboy goes for 239 total yards from scrimmage, 183 on the ground. Dak had 3 TDs, but it wasn't enough. Dak is just a great guy. Here's your report card. We were talking about the potential to have 3 straight A games, but the Cowboys came up short. What grade are you giving Dallas this week?
Wiles, what people like about my grading is I grade on a curve.
But where did you get that data from?
Where is that coming from?
Well, it's out there. All right, it's out there.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, I don't expect you to write like Shakespeare. Okay? I expect some misspelled words, maybe a tad bit of plagiarism even, but I don't hold it against you. I don't hold it against you if that's what you are.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
This week was a little different, or yesterday, because the Cowboys had done such a good job, not hiding their shortcomings, but working around them. Where I thought, you know what? They're capable of some high-level work. All right? And as that game progressed, I realized, you know what? I'm watching a tomato can.
Oh, no.
And I had to alter my expectations, okay? Now, the Cowboys were playing a tomato can. And I know they've played some decent games this year, but still, they are a tomato can in my book until further notice, the Carolina Panthers. It was kind of like the tomato can bowl, all right? But the Cowboys had to show, Coach, that we are the kings of the tomato cans.
Cowboys are the tomato can?
They are a tomato can. I'm sorry.
Wow, I didn't.
Chicago beat them up. They've beaten the two New York teams.
And that's
They did tie my Packers somehow, some way. But that's what made me think, oh, maybe they could do something. And before you get mad at me for calling them a tomato can, it is the fact that they are a tomato can that kept them from getting another F. I'm giving them a D instead.
Okay.
Because they, you know, hey, I can only expect so much.
They're doing the best they can.
Yeah, they did the best they could, Coach.
I think you're being too hard, and I think that's because you underestimate the Carolina Panthers. And that's the problem with anybody who plays Carolina, is they go into it and they think, okay, we should smoke these guys. And what's Carolina done? They've had some pretty bad games, but they've also had some pretty impressive games. They're 500 right now. So if you go into it with the expectation that they're going to walk over the team, and then the game's close or they end up losing a close game, you're extremely disappointed because of your expectation. But I feel like your grading might be a little bit unfair because of your expectation from Carolina.
So it should be an F game.
No, I think you could maybe
No, higher, because he's saying Carolina's a better team.
I think Carolina's better than you give them credit for, but because you've already graded Carolina so poorly, that's why you bring this grade down even more.
Listen,
That's
Bryce Young hadn't had a passer rating greater than 90 all year. He had 115. Rico Dowdle, coming off an excellent game, had another great game, which is so weird. Because I was told that trading Micah Parsons would fix their run defense. And Rico Dowdle is a running back, right? And for those checking in on how the Cowboys defense has been without Micah Parsons, the answer is the worst in football.
This has got to.
What, KW?
I mean, does it change? I'm wondering, like, like the Ravens are going to get better.
No,
they're stuff like this.
And I know Coach rolls his eyes at me about it. I am telling you, this year is going to be proof positive that as far as a singular player's impact on a defense, we were underrating Micah's. Because it is largely the same personnel, plus Kenny Clark, who is a good player. Not a great player, but a good player. And they have become the worst in football.
Yeah.
So
know what would have helped him yesterday?
What?
Keeping Rico Dowdle.
Well, okay, well, that too.
That would have really helped him.
He told him what he was going to do.
He said it in the post game of last week.
Look at this.
Is Drake May through the doorstep of destiny and on the doorstep of the MVP. When I told you Drake May was in the MVP conversation, I was met with the Soulja Boy response. Drake? Well, 3 TDs, 261, perfect passer rating in the first half.
That was good.
Here's the updated MVP odds. Josh Patrick Bake Show.
He's right ahead of Lamar.
Stafford Goff. Hey, we're moving up. First of all, what are these from? DraftKings?
Yeah.
There are sponsors?
Yeah. Why?
Yes, there are sponsors.
But what's your issue with it? Just tell me.
I would line shop if I were you. I'm just saying.
Oh, you can get Drake has longer odds elsewhere.
Better odds.
But no, then you would want him here, buddy.
I don't understand.
You don't want to bet him at 15 to 1.
I just want him up. I want him number 1. I'm not talking about making money. I'm talking about ego.
Yeah.
Brou, is he in the MVP conversation for you?
He's in the conversation.
There we
I mean, it's clearly Baker right
Classic
now.
one.
Mahomes is obviously moving into it. And it's hard to
3-3?
even hold the 3-3 against Mahomes because
Why?
most teams are 4-2 that are, players are in it. But Drake is in it.
Thank you.
He might be on Bru's ballot. He is.
Warm my heart.
As you look at the numbers, obviously he's got the great win against Buffalo. He's played for his last 5 games. He's got a passer rating of over 100 in each of those games.
140.
3 of them are over one. Yeah, is it 140 in those 3 games?
140, 101, 155, 102, 138.
So he's playing great, and he doesn't have an all-pro receiver, even though Diggs is kind of turned back the clock. He doesn't have an all-pro receiver, doesn't have an all-pro running back, probably even a Pro Bowl running back. So he's doing.
No, definitely doesn't have a Pro Bowl running back.
Never know. You never know nowadays. You're right with injuries, but I'm just saying, he's in it.
And he does have Josh McDaniels, who did turn Mac Jones into a Pro Bowler very early on.
Yeah.
And
Some say that's the most impressive coaching feat in the history of the NFL.
and I think that you're seeing the development of Mac Jones and the value of that relationship. And I think also having someone like Mike Vrabel who brings a different mentality, and there seems to be a extreme confidence in him, and to me, similar to Harbaugh with Justin Herbert, that has an effect. And if we're going to talk about Baker in this conversation, let me just show you something quickly. If you compare the two guys right now through the course of the season, and Baker is at third, this is where Drake May compares to Baker Mayfield throughout the course of the season. And in a lot of those categories, Drake May is better. So
Total touchdowns just for the record.
Conversation?
12-12.
12-12. He's got the 2 running touchdowns that Baker doesn't have. So if Baker's where he is, then Drake's got to be.
Yeah, part of that. Listen, part of MVP. This is the difference between something like Bru's ballot and the odds. The odds involve there's projection built into it. Like that's why Mahomes' 3-3 record is not held against him. Because they are assuming the Chiefs are going to have a good record, and he's playing at this level, and so it's also
that's why Allen's number 1.
Correct, Allen's number 1 because they think they're going to have an awesome record, and so the projection piece of it. But I want you to be able to. This is a great moment for you.
You should really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Do you think it's going to fall off a cliff?
I don't necessarily think it's going to fall off the cliff, but I think that you're cliff adjacent.
At Tennessee with a new coach, so maybe they get the new coach bounce, but maybe not. Home against the Browns, home against the Falcons. At Tampa Bay, tough. Home against the Jets. The Drake May MVP conversation is going to get louder and louder. And I just want to say, Hubs, can you put me on here? I don't really break this out all the time. My antennas are up on Patriots chemistry alert. Watching this team, the locker rooms, like, hold on, do you guys really all love and support each other?
Yeah, basically, can I just say something? I buy that, but also basically every winning team but the Eagles has great chemistry, and losing teams seem not to. Like that seems to go.
Well, and also to have this level of success after being bad for so long, that vibe check.
Right, 4
dramatically
wins.
Bounces.
Listen, this is. There are right now, it looks like 8 teams in the AFC that are very viable playoff contenders, and 7 get in. And so it's Buffalo, New England, whoever wins the North, Indy, Jacksonville, KC, Chargers, Broncos. One of those teams is going to be left out. Drake keeps playing up to this level. It won't be the best.
Is Buffalo on sneaky upset alert?
Yeah.
Do you think so, for real?
Yes, I do, for real. I do think they're on sneaky upset alert. I think Atlanta, fresh off a week off, it's like the Bills played Sunday night, emotional loss. Atlanta had a full week. Atlanta's also had an incredibly weird year.
Yes.
Week 1, they played Tampa. They miss a kick, to potentially tie it.
Yep.
Week 2, they annihilate Minnesota, and they then get annihilated themselves by Carolina. They bounce back against Washington. So I don't really have a beat on them. I feel like I do have a beat on Buffalo, which is I think their defense can get got. So yeah, on the road Monday night, I think they're on at least sneaky upset alert.
Sneaky fair.
No, that is fair. I do think Buffalo will pull it out. I'm giving that to them because they're coming off a bad loss. They're going to want to erase that from their minds, the loss to New England, and get a win. But the beat on Atlanta, Nick, is outside of that strange game against Carolina, they've actually played good football.
Yes.
They could have beat Tampa. So,
Yes.
no, they're on alert, but I think Bills will hold off.
I wonder if we just had kind of like the Drake May coming out party against Josh Allen. Could we see that for Penix? Even
No.
though you can't really throw on the Bills. Or
I mean,
is it
that's
just
a huge problem.
No.
or is it just a lot of Bijan all the time?
I think it has to be Bijan. I think Drake has the chance to be a great quarterback. I don't think Penix has. I think Penix is pretty limited. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.